When you've fallen so far, you question everything. If you are an entrepreneur and you've been fighting for a long time and you've hit a point where you honestly ask yourself, is this even worth it anymore? Then this is for you. If this kind of conversation matters to you, subscribe, because this is where we talk about what's really going on behind money, success, and the facade. So I just got off a call with someone who's trying to come back to life after going very far off track. And it reminded me of a place I know very well. I'm going to share my story because I've been there. I ended up with a $1.5 million in debt after years of fighting, of stress, of pressure, of trying to fix everything. And I got out of it. I built a company, 60 people in my team. I got momentum. Money was flowing again. I built a business around seminars, speaking, coaching. Money was flowing really good. And everything worked. From the outside, everything worked. Here comes the second collapse, because then I lost myself again. As I built my company, I felt flow, I felt momentum. And I was out of my marriage, which had held me down. We were in two different areas or places or phases in our lives. And I promised myself after the marriage that the next woman I would find, I would commit myself to her fully. I was an entrepreneur. I was building my business. Things were going very good. And I met her. The woman that just matched everything on my list. And I went all in as I promised myself. Now, she had stories around her past, stories that made her cry, stories that made me sad and made me feel even more that I had to go all in and just open up my heart and show her that I was fully committed to her. And I didn't see the red lights, I didn't see the warnings. But with time, from small to bigger, there were lies and manipulations, confusion. And slowly over the 6 years, I mean slowly, the fire that I have built when I built my company, the energy that I was full of, the passion, all of that disappeared. It vanished. And fact is, I ended up completely broken. And this is like a very low point, and it's also very important. I remember when I found out that I thought she was cheating on me, but I actually found out she had a man. She was married for 20 years. She had 2 kids. I only knew of one. So when I found out, everything crashed for me. And when I look back, it was like you have this Chinese vase and you drop it and it's on a very maybe concrete floor, and it's just like in thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces. My mind went like, it couldn't handle it. My whole system couldn't handle it. So I went kaput. I fell down on the floor, and I was just on the floor crying. Not for a couple of minutes, not for an hour, not for a day. Actually, for a couple of weeks. And I was just crying and crying and crying. And I haven't been crying, like really crying, in many years. And I was at a point where I was so far, my system couldn't handle this. My brain didn't understand all of this. So when I kind of could get up and just talk a little bit, I picked up my phone and I put in the number. I had checked it and I was calling. This was the first one I called. It was the suicidal hotline. I had no clue how I could live again. Whole system shortcut. My brain kaput. I had no energy. I didn't understand how this could be real. I had no direction. I had no will. It was sucked out of me in 6 years. And I have been a fighter, a pusher, a person, a guy who just committed and I went all in. This time, there was nothing left. No fire, no nothing inside. And one thing for sure is that many people, many entrepreneurs, they keep fighting. And there's this feeling, the desperation, the something inside that hurts, a pain. But as I did for many years, we keep fighting. And we neglect the pain. And the fact is that nobody talks about this. So my process and what I shared on the call with this guy, so it's actually a message to you too here, my friend. What followed was not pretty at all. It was not fast. It was not a strategy. It was, for me, years of healing. Sitting with everything that came up that I had not been able or had the courage or knew how to look at. Letting it come up to the surface. Sitting in silence, doing nothing. Almost like a monastery. And for years, I didn't do anything at all. I lived in celibacy, just being with me. Cleaning out everything that came up. I had people, guides, healers, who came to me, who helped me during these years. And I'm not sure exactly how many years this was, but maybe 4, 5, 6 years. After a long period, one of my guides told me something very simple. And I'm sharing this because it came up in our call. And the message was this. Actually, before the message, I said I have no clue what I'm going to do. I was just for years in silence. I have no clue what I'm going to do. I don't know. There's no fire. There's nothing left inside. I've healed. I was in silence. I was very calm. And the message from this healer was, it's time to start walking. And I said, the truth, but I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And the healer said, just walk, step by step. And this principle is so powerful because I started just walking. Just like one foot, next foot, next step, like this. And I remember in the beginning I had like, okay, I'm just going to walk like the 500 meter there and see what happens. And nothing happened. Then I walked a little longer, and then it was 500 meters. And then I walked around the block, then I walked around the area, then I walked around the city, just walking. No plan, no big vision, nothing, just movement. And I kept walking. And what happened was, not like from one day to another, but what happened was, slowly, energy came back. Life came back. And when that happened, I began to watch what was going on. And different, you could call it synchronicities or universe helping with some things showed up. So I started from out of nowhere, and I went into a movie set as an extra. And now 4 years after, I've been an actor in 30 short movies and 7 lead roles and a couple of small roles on national TV in my country. But not pushing it, not grinding it, not with the heavy baggage that I had on to prove anything. Dating came back. I started dating again. And I know there's many people in my age, 40s, 50s, 60s, when I speak with men, but women also. It's kind of like the life force have left them. And I ask, what about dating? And they say, nah. But dating came back. And in the beginning, it was very awkward because I had no trust in women. But I had this thing in my mind, step by step. So I just took one date and another date and another date. Awkward, and I didn't trust. But again, with doing this step by step, the energy came back. Trust came back, and the fire came back. And I started doing this channel. And just a couple of months ago, I started, maybe even not a couple, maybe just 1 month ago, I started doing coaching calls again. And I started actually doing coaching again. It's the first steps. But the thing is, I didn't think my way out of all of this. It was just step by step. So it's kind of like before I tried to figure everything out. And this time I understood instead, when there's something that is hindering me, it's more about going in the inside and then just start walk and trust that the universe will show up and help. And this is for you if you've been pushing for years and you feel kind of like empty, or your head is running around with ideas and strategies, but you're not really succeeding. Strategies can help, but there's so many strategies. Probably you don't need a new strategy. You need to start walking again. Not perfect, not clear, not big, just movement. And if you want support in that process, join our community. This is all about money, identity, and expansion and success. And in the community, you can start with a 7-day manifestation reset. And this reset has only one thing. It's 7 days, but it's to understand what's going on inside of you. Calm your system down and find your next step. The community and the 7 days, both are free. The link is below this video. And one thing with this step-by-step that I've learned is that you don't need to fix your whole life today. You just need to take the first step, and then the next step, and the next step. And one day, you look up, and either you're back like I am now, or if you wasn't that much down as I was, you look up and you're like, wow, I came far now. Most important for this video is step by step. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to see you in the next one.